Hi, Shoe 7, I'm back. Okay, so I got a video request on a subject of, is there hope for an older woman in their 30s and early 40s to get a man that's financially stable and responsible to care for them and to do this and that? And that when this person goes out, who's, a little older, all the older guys are the guys at their own age tend to flock to the younger women, no matter what. Even if the person is like all glamorous and this and that, they tend to go for the younger women. And is there hope for older women? How does an older woman pull a man away from younger women, and who is financially stable? Okay, here's my suggestion. Okay, first of all, if you're older, if you're like 30s and 40s, there's two options for you. You can either compete with the young women, or you can go for a much older man. If you want someone your own age who's financially stable, that's going to be hard because most men do not mature mentally as women do. Okay, so those men might be 40, but in their mind they're still 30. Okay, they're still 29. Okay, they still see women a certain way. So, and they figure, I went to college, I got a degree, or I started my own business, I'm making money now, I'm going to have the type of woman that I truly desire, sexually, visually, and all of that, okay? They feel like they deserve to have beautiful, young, vibrant women, okay? Because they worked so hard. They didn't work hard to, get someone mediocre. Okay, not on purpose anyway, accidents happen. So that's what they're thinking. I've asked my husband why, because he's older, why men tend to go for younger women, and I'm younger, rather than women their own age. And he says they have too much baggage. And even if they don't have kids, he says they still have baggage because they're so protective of themselves. They're so worried about the future. They're so set in their ways. You can't teach them anything. They don't listen to you like a young woman would. They're not surprised. They're not impressed easily. They don't look up to you, And the younger women are like, infatuated. Everything the guy says sounds good and smart and like a good idea. And, they have years of experience. So the younger woman is impressed by the older man. And the older man feels like he's the man and he's got it going on. So as an older woman, you're going to have to, if you want a man your age, you're going to have to get a youthful appearance. You're going to have to do what it takes to compete with young women. You're going to have to get a youthful hairdo, do a youthful makeup look, wear trendy clothes like the young girls do. Because guys like shiny new things, okay? You got to follow all the latest trends and the fads that the young girls do, okay? You have to compete. You're going to have to let him lead. You're going to have to play dumb, first of all, because all of your years of experience and maturity doesn't mean anything to him right now, okay? And you're going to have to pretend like, everything he says is the best thing you've ever heard. You can't be his mother. You have to be someone fun and free that he can escape with, okay? You can't be setting future goals and saying, oh, we should do, you can't try to play house with him yet. He wants to chase people. He wants to chase women. Young women don't try to play house with men. Like, they don't. They're out in the club. They're out in the bar. They're out at parties. They're at the beach. They're hanging out with their friends. They're in the mall. They're shopping. They're not all over, this guy and saying, what are we going to do tomorrow? What are we going to do this? They're very spontaneous. They're like, go with the flow. They're free. They're not worried about this. They're not trying to go and cook meals for this man to try to prove how good of a wife they are. They're not trying to do that because a lot of times men like spontaneity. They like fun. They like thrills. So you have to be unpredictable. You have to be like fun and change it up a lot, because they're not ready for marriage. Obviously, if they're going after younger women. And if they are ready for marriage and going after younger women, they want someone who's going to treat them like a man, you know, not a competition. Because a lot of women who end up with guys their own age and career-wise, they're in competition with each other, you know. They're like, well, you know, you got a promotion this month, and mine's coming up next month, and I hope I get mine, and, you know, maybe, you know, it's all about serious stuff. Guys don't want to do that. They just want to be the man. That's why they date younger women. And, like, eventually when they do really want to get married and settle down, then they'll start looking for the wifey type, the motherly type. They're not trying to settle down if they're going after younger women. You need to find a man who's older, who's already done that, and it didn't work out for them, because really in their mind and their soul, they wanted someone who they were compatible with, who they could share things with, who had more things in common with them, you know, especially when you're near the same age, or if they're just a little bit older, you have more in common. So you need to go for the older men. Like, if you're 40, you're 30, you need to go for somebody 55, okay, or 60. If you're, you know, because men can still reproduce, okay? Their sperm is not like our eggs, okay? So if you're having trouble and you want a financially stable man and you're 40, you're going to have to go up in the age, okay? Or unless you want to compete with younger women. There is hope, though, because my sister, I know lots of friends that I know who are 40s, in their 40s. Yeah, not even in their 30s anymore. They're in their 40s. They're like, there's 3 marriages going on this summer. You know, and sometimes you got to get a younger man. I don't know how hard that would be to find a younger man that will support you. But you know, anything's possible. I say go for the older guy, though. It's guaranteed. I have a cousin, and she has an older boyfriend, very financially stable, and she's older than me, and you know, they got it going on. So there's always hope. And I don't know, like, how you feel about, you know, like, I don't know how you feel about mixing, going with different races and stuff like that, but sometimes that has a lot to do with it. And I'm not putting any race down or lifting any race up. I'm just saying sometimes your options are limited, and that's what you really want. If your main focus is on financial stability, you might have to step outside of your race, and especially the older you get. That's just what it is, okay? And yes, you have to keep up your looks. Looks are very important to men. They are visual creatures. You can't be looking 40 and you're competing against 20-something-year-olds. If you're 40 and you want to compete against 20-year-olds, you're going to have to look at least 25, late 20s. You're going to have to do a makeover, a youthful makeover on yourself, okay? You don't want to come in there looking like you just turned 40. You really want to look young, okay? But you don't want to overdo it. You don't want to look like you're one of those old people who are trying to look young. You just want to don't follow every trend, because only young people can do that. Don't follow every trend. Follow like 2 trends. Make it look nice, you know, like, you know, maybe a new hairstyle or a new clothing. But don't do everything. Don't do nails, lips, eyes, you know, don't do everything. Just do a little bit, because it's not going to transfer right on an older person, okay? Also, be youthful in your own age. Like, do things that will relate, that will cause nostalgia. Like, okay, I'll give you an example. Like if you wear like a fitted t-shirt and some skinny jeans or whatever to go out, have like a vintage skinny shirt. I mean, not skinny shirt. A vintage shirt with something like from the 80s on it that you can really relate to and talk about. You know, like, oh yeah, I used to love this, you know. And the younger girls who wear the vintage t-shirts, they don't even know what this is, but you can talk about it. A guy will come up to you. They'll say, oh, so what do you know about Pac-Man or whatever? And, or what do you know about, Run DMC? Oh, yeah. Oh, I went to the concert. And they're going to be like, what? You can't be that old. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm young at heart, though. Like, everybody says they always think I'm like 25. I'm so young. That's why I have like, I'm just so free and young. You have to play the youth role, because that's what guys like. They like, my husband told me when he first met me, because I was 22, he's like, I like you because you just go with the flow. You don't argue. You don't have any set ways. You don't have any, no, I can't do this because I got to do this. No, I can't do that because I got to do, you don't have any hang-ups. You're free. You don't have any baggage. You don't treat me like I'm going to hurt you. You don't treat me like you're afraid of me. You don't treat me like, you don't put me at a distance. You ask me questions. You want to know about me. You don't tell me your whole life story and why you are the way you are because I never asked. Don't ever tell someone your whole life story. You're giving away, first of all, you're giving away too much information they did not ask for. When the man says, tell me about yourself, what that really means is tell me what you like and what you don't like so I can do the things that you like so that we can continue talking and see each other. Okay, he's not trying to he's not asking you about why you broke up with him and why you can't trust men anymore and why you're celibate. Don't ever tell a man you're celibate because it's like number one thing, Like, never tell a man you're celibate. Don't tell him anything. That's none of his business yet, And if you are celibate and you want to get into a relationship, don't give it away so easily. Make him work for it, Don't ever give it away easy. Make sure that you are in a relationship with this person before you give it up. I know a lot of women are like, well, why would I do that? Well, why would somebody want a relationship with you if anybody can get it, without being in a relationship with you? You don't have to say you're celibate. Just like, what? I don't like to have sex outside of a relationship. That's just, I just don't do that. But if I had a man, we could get it on every night, make them want to be in a relationship, don't give away the goods. That's like, giving away free food and then trying to, sell a sandwich. No, I just ate something. I don't need a sandwich, So just make sure that you are practicing being open-minded, available, not stuck in your ways. Compete with youthful girls in a way that you also have your sense. Because a lot of younger women and a lot of older women will say, I wish I would have known that when I was young. Well, guess what? You know that. You can avoid certain things, but you also have to, compete by still having that youthful attitude. So it's kind of hard, but, unless you want an older man, then that's what you're going to have to do. Okay? So thank y'all for watching. I have another video coming up too after this, and it's going to be about, it was another request, but I'll get into that later. Just check out my other video. I think it's going to be about how to get men to honor you. I don't know. Something like that. I have to look at my notes. But thanks for watching. I might change this blue lipstick too because it's getting old. Alright, bye.